Some videos motivate you. Some videos inspire you. Some videos give you a temporary emotional lift. This one does something else. This one dismantles you and then rebuilds you with intention. If this video found you, it's not random, it's not coincidence, and it's not luck. You are standing at the exact psychological crossroads where the old version of you is no longer sustainable, and the new version is demanding to be born. You can feel it. The habits don't fit anymore. The excuses feel empty, and the life you're living feels too small. That moment is rare. Most people never reach it. They numb themselves. They distract themselves. They stay busy enough to avoid confronting who they've become. But you didn't scroll past this, because something inside you knows. I can no longer live as I have been. That discomfort is not failure. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not weak. It's the signal that transformation has already begun. The greatest thinkers in history understood this moment. They all taught the same truth. Real change doesn't start with motivation. It starts when identity replaces emotion. This video is not for everyone. It's for the ones who are ready to let the old negative version of themselves die. Because once you see what you're about to hear, you can't go back to living the same way. So listen closely. This isn't background noise. This is the moment you become someone new, a better version of yourself. Friedrich Nietzsche did not believe in comfort. He did not believe in safety. He did not believe in becoming better in small, polite steps. He believed in self-overcoming. He believed that every higher version of you must be paid for with the death of a former self. Man is something that shall be overcome. Read that again. Not fixed, not managed, overcome. The old you was built for survival. The new you must be built for creation. The old you adapted to pain. The new you must use pain as fuel. The old you learned to cope. The new you must learn to command. And here is the truth most people never accept. You cannot rise while protecting the identity that kept you small. That identity, the procrastinator, the people pleaser, the emotionally reactive self, the version that waits to feel motivated, must die. Not violently, not angrily, but decisively. Because the future of your higher self will not negotiate with who you used to be. Transformation feels painful because your nervous system resists unfamiliar identities. Joe Dispenza explains this with brutal clarity. Your body becomes addicted to familiar emotional states, even if those states are stress, fear, self-doubt, or limitation. Your body would rather stay anxious and familiar than calm and unknown. That's why growth feels unsafe. That's why discipline feels threatening. That's why change feels like loss. Because to your biology, it is loss. You are losing old routines, old emotional rewards, old excuses, old certainty. But Nietzsche would tell you, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. This discomfort is not a warning, it is confirmation. Listen carefully. You are not stuck. Stuck is stagnant. Stuck is numb. Stuck is unaware. You are aware. You are restless. You are dissatisfied with comfort. That means you are shedding skin. Just as a snake becomes vulnerable during shedding, you feel exposed during transition. Old habits don't fit. Old pleasures feel hollow. Old conversations feel empty. That's not depression. That's evolution. The mistake most people make is trying to return to comfort. But there is no comfort behind you anymore. Only growth ahead. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while battling illness, betrayal, war, and loss. He did not wait to feel good. He trained himself to act correctly, regardless of emotion. Do not be embarrassed by failure. Learn from it and start again. Emotion is temporary. Identity is permanent. The old you asks, "How do I feel?" The new you asks, "What must be done?" Discipline is not force. Discipline is alignment with your future self. Every disciplined action says, "I respect who I am becoming more than how I feel right now." And over time, your emotions follow your identity, not the other way around. Machiavelli was misunderstood. He did not teach cruelty. He taught reality. He understood that good intentions without strength are fragile. True power begins internally. Power is emotional control, strategic thinking, long-term patience, decisive action. Weak people react, powerful people respond. Alex Hormozy says it clearly. If you don't control your time, emotions, and attention, someone else will. The new you does not live impulsively. The new you designs systems. The new you builds leverage. The new you thinks in decades, not days. This is not manipulation. This is mastery. Brian Tracy revealed a painful truth. People don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they never change how they see themselves. Behavior follows identity. If you see yourself as inconsistent, you will be. If you see yourself as undisciplined, you'll confirm it. If you see yourself as unlucky, you'll search for evidence. The new you does not hope to change. The new you decides. Chris Williamson calls this identity-based living. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your standards. And standards come from identity. Reinvention requires separation. You cannot evolve while emotionally tied to who you were. Robert Greene teaches. Reinvention begins with strategic withdrawal. This means leaving old environments, reducing exposure to draining people, changing inputs, controlling what you consume. Not everyone deserves access to the new you. Some people only know how to relate to your weakness. And you must be willing to disappoint them to fulfill yourself. Fear does not mean stop. Fear means there is something here that will change you. The brave are not fearless. They are fear-disciplined. Bedros Keuilian says, "You either develop pain tolerance or life trains you brutally. Pain is unavoidable. Suffering is optional. Choose intentional struggle. Failure is only permanent when personalized." The new you does not ask, "What does this say about me?" The new you asks, "What does this teach me?" This is Marcus Aurelius again. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle is training. Every setback sharpens. An unbeatable person is not invincible. They are internally sovereign. They do not collapse emotionally. They do not externalize control. They do not surrender their standards. They remain steady while others panic. That is power. That is freedom. Tony Robbins teaches, identity is the most powerful force in human behavior. You do not become your higher self later. You become it now. Act as the person you are becoming. Speak as them. Move as them. Decide as them. Consistency will follow identity. Marcus Aurelius lived with one question: what is within my control? The unbeatable person focuses only on what they command. Their thoughts, their effort, their standards, their response. Everything else is noise. The new you does not complain. The new you does not blame. The new you does not explain. The new you executes. And because of that, the new you becomes calm under pressure, focused under chaos, grounded under uncertainty, unbeatable not because life is easy, but because the mind is trained. Friedrich Nietzsche warned us of a truth most people spend their lives running from. You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you rise anew if you have not first become ashes? Most people never change, not because they can't, but because they refuse to let the old identity die. They want a better life without shedding their old skin. They want higher results with the same habits. They want a new future while clinging to a familiar past. But life does not work that way. The version of you that created your current reality cannot take you into the next one. The old you survives on excuses. The old you negotiates with weakness. The old you waits to feel motivated. The old you lives emotionally, reactive, impulsive, distracted. And Nietzsche made this painfully clear. Become your higher self, the confident, bold, and unshakable version of yourself. Not who you wish you were, not who society trained you to be, but who you are capable of becoming. That requires self-overcoming, and self-overcoming begins with identity destruction. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, did not rule through motivation. He ruled through discipline. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The new you does not act based on mood. The new you does not wait to feel inspired. The new you does not negotiate with resistance. Emotion is unreliable. Identity is permanent. Brian Tracy taught this clearly. Successful people don't wait to feel ready. They act, and confidence follows. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. Every time you do what must be done, despite how you feel, you carve a new identity into your nervous system. You stop asking, "How do I feel today?" And you start asking, "Who am I committed to becoming?" The old version of you is not just defined by habits. It is defined by a mindset of scarcity. Scarcity is not simply a lack of money. It is a way of perceiving reality. It is the belief, often unconscious, that there is never enough. Not enough time, not enough opportunity, not enough energy, not enough security, not enough for everyone. And because of this belief, the old self operates in defense mode. It protects, it hesitates, it hoards, it overthinks, it avoids risk. Scarcity does not make you evil or weak. It makes you small by necessity. Because scarcity is a survival identity. The scarcity self does not fail because it lacks intelligence. It fails because it sees the world as hostile and limited. So it asks, what if I lose? What if this doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? What if someone else takes what I need? Scarcity causes short-term thinking, emotional spending or extreme saving, fear of investing in self-growth, resistance to learning from others, comparison instead of creation. The scarcity identity waits for certainty before moving, but certainty never arrives, and so life remains small. Nietzsche would call this a reactive identity, one that moves only in response to fear. The new, higher self does not deny reality. It understands it accurately. Abundance is not wishful thinking. It is the recognition that value can be created, not just taken. The abundance identity operates from a different internal question. What can I build? What can I improve? What skill can I develop? What value can I offer? This is why high achievers invest when others retreat. They see downturns as opportunity. They see discomfort as tuition. They see effort as leverage. Machiavelli understood this truth. Those who adapt and act decisively shape fortune. Abundance is not passive optimism. It is strategic confidence. The scarcity self sees money as safety. The abundance self sees money as a tool. High achievers do not chase money emotionally. They build systems that produce value. They ask, how can I solve bigger problems? How can I scale my impact? This is why wealthy individuals reinvest. They spend money to buy time, acquire skills, build leverage, expand networks. The scarcity self asks, can I afford this? The abundance self asks, does this multiply my capacity? The scarcity identity avoids failure because failure feels final. The abundance identity sees failure as data. This is why entrepreneurs, investors, and leaders recover faster. They do not interpret setbacks as personal flaws. They interpret them as feedback loops. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." Abundance thinkers move again, faster and wiser. Scarcity thinkers freeze. The scarcity self trades time for security. The abundance self trades effort for leverage. High achievers protect their energy. They eliminate draining environments, low-value conversations, emotional distractions. They understand that attention is currency, and where attention goes, life follows. The real shift happens when you stop asking, how do I protect what I have? And start asking, how do I expand what I am capable of? This is identity transformation, not becoming reckless, not becoming arrogant, becoming internally secure. When you trust your ability to create value, scarcity dissolves naturally. You stop clinging, you stop fearing, you stop hesitating, because you know, I can build again. High achievers did not wake up abundant. They trained themselves into abundance. They invested in skills before comfort, took responsibility before confidence, acted decisively before certainty, chose long-term over short-term. They behaved like creators long before they were wealthy. Identity came first, results followed. Scarcity is an identity rooted in fear of loss. Abundance is an identity rooted in confidence in creation. The old self survives, the new self builds. And this is why the wealthy do not fear starting over. Because wealth is not money, it is who they have become. This is the difference between those who remain trapped in cycles and those who rise. Not luck, not privilege, but identity. Change the identity, and scarcity no longer has a place to live. Machiavelli warned, those who rely on fortune rather than preparation collapse when pressure arrives. The new you does not leave life to chance. The new you builds leverage. The new you thinks long-term. The new you plays reality, not fantasy. Alex Hormozy echoes this. Your life gets easier when you become harder. Harder mentally, sharper strategically, stronger internally. Power is built in silence. Success is earned in repetition. Respect comes from results. Nietzsche did not promise happiness. He promised strength. What does not kill me makes me stronger. Fear is not a sign to stop. Fear is a sign you are approaching growth. Struggle is not punishment. Struggle is the forge. Failure is not identity. Failure is feedback. The new you stops personalizing pain. The new you studies it, learns from it, and sharpens itself. Bedros Keuilian says, you either build pain tolerance or life humiliates you. Choose your pain, the pain of discipline, or the pain of regret. You are standing at the precise moment where the old version of you is dying, and the new version is fighting to be born, not peacefully, not comfortably, but violently, because real transformation is not gentle. It does not whisper, it demands. Transformation does not happen when life is easy. It happens when you are uncomfortable, uncertain, and forced to confront the truth of who you've been. and the terrifying, powerful question of who you are about to become. This is not the end of you. This is the end of who you can no longer afford to be, and the beginning of something stronger. You made it here. That matters more than you think, because most people turn away the moment the truth becomes uncomfortable. They look for distraction. They look for noise. They look for reassurance that nothing has to change. But you stayed, and that means something in you already knows who you are becoming. You are not here to be saved. You are here to remember your strength. Nothing in this video gave you power. It only revealed what was already there. You were never broken. You were untrained. And training begins the moment you decide that your life will no longer be driven by emotion, impulse, or fear. From this moment forward, something is different. Not because life will get easier, but because you are stronger. The old version of you did its job. It survived. It adapted. It carried you through confusion, uncertainty, and pain. But it is not meant to carry you into the future. So let it rest, not with shame, not with regret, but with respect. You are not erasing who you were. You are integrating it and moving beyond it. The new you does not need permission. The new you does not need validation. The new you does not need perfect conditions. The new you moves forward calmly, deliberately, and without apology. Discipline is now your language. Clarity is now your posture. Self-command is now your foundation. There will still be challenges. There will still be resistance, but it will no longer confuse you, because you now understand something most people never do. Life does not respond to wishing. It responds to identity, and your identity has shifted. So when you wake up tomorrow, you do not ask how you feel. You ask who you are, and then you act accordingly, not once, not when it's easy, but consistently. That is how transformation becomes permanent. Remember this, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not weak. You are becoming. And becoming is the highest form of living. Stand tall, move forward, and live as the person you have already decided to be. The new you is no longer coming. The new you is here.